Hey everybody, Pastor Andy Duffy here from the Antioch Church of the Brethren, here with Pastor Bilbo, who just seems to have had a rough day. I mean, look at him. He's just down for the count. Then again, I'm sitting here on the floor too, so who knows? Maybe we're all experiencing a bit of a struggle right now. The world is a crazy place, what with viruses and political conflict over how to respond. We've got the recent killing of George Floyd and lots of uproar about the state of racism in our country. We've got lots of things on our minds. I feel like for our daily devotion, we just need some encouragement today. It's encouragement not to sit back and relax, but to feel the energy of knowing that God has not abandoned us and we're going somewhere. And maybe we can get on board with what God is doing around us. This is one of the most encouraging passages I know of in the New Testament. This comes from 1 Corinthians. The Apostle Paul writes, "We are hard pressed on every side, but not crushed. Perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, but not abandoned. Struck down, but not destroyed." We always carry around in our body the death of Jesus so that the life of Jesus may also be revealed in our body. There's this amazing paradox of Christian faith where to be first is to be last, to be last is to be first. Death leads to life. Those who pursue only life often find they lose it. Things that don't make sense somehow make sense in the light of Jesus, his life, his death, his resurrection, his love, most of all. When I hear Paul lift up these terrible states that the early church was in at his time, and I could probably say for most of us, we experience these things. We're hard pressed, right? You just feel the pressure, right? There's so many opinions, there's so many things on social media that clamor for our attention and demand that you should feel this way. You should feel the way I feel. And if you don't, you're a terrible person. Paul says, we are pressed on every side, but we are not crushed. Jesus gives us the confidence to know that no matter what kind of pressures are put on us, we can withstand with God's help. Paul says, we are perplexed. We don't know the answers. We're confused. We're not totally sure what the truth is, maybe. But we're not in despair over it. We can trust that there is a truth, even if we don't know what that exactly is. Paul says we're persecuted. There are people out there that just straight up hate you. I know that's crazy to think about. People don't even know you probably hate you for something about your life, right? Whether it's your spiritual beliefs, your political opinions, your style of living, the color of your skin, your sexual orientation. Who knows what it might be? Somebody out there doesn't like you without even having met you. Or maybe they have met you. But Paul says you're persecuted, but not abandoned. We're not alone in our persecution. There's someone who walks with us. There's someone who walks with you with some people who are on opposite sides of various issues or states of being. Jesus walks with everyone. And Paul says we are struck down. We are on the ground for the count. But we are not destroyed. Just because you're knocked down doesn't mean you can't get back up. Doesn't mean you failed. Doesn't mean things are irreversible. If we learn anything from the example of Jesus' life, is that death is not an ending. Or if it is, it's also a beginning. I hope this is encouraging for you. That whatever we face right now in the world, It's not the end of the story. Maybe we are pressed on every side, perplexed, struck down, persecuted, but we are not crushed. We are not in despair. We are not abandoned, and we are not destroyed. So as you go about this week or this day coming up, know that there is hope, and our God has not abandoned us, and Jesus walks with you.